Okay. And you can see by the heading of this one, we're just dropping some tea. But the thing I've found out about you is you will never just go along to get along, not ever. You learnt harshly that lesson in self-worth. Whilst you're unrecognizable these days to those that are unsupportive of you, you haven't changed essentially, not in your heart, not in your energy. Your difference is you now have cultivated within self-love. And you should have always had self-love, darling. Honestly, your life would have been so much crazier if you had have had self-love the whole way through. Would have been so much crazier if you had have had self-love. Now, you respect yourself, putting your needs first, and you defended your own honor when no one else would. I am so proud of you for that. You're amazing. Some of us have experienced spell work every moon cycle. So on the, oh, what is it? And it was a religious cult that was doing this to you, done it to you most of your life. Can't even believe that. There are so many innocent souls getting hijacked by these other souls that think that they are able to write the script and control the narrative. I guess it's like, Neo in the Matrix and the architect. So some people can be kept down while others get to rise, and it's decided by these covens as to who gets the soul trafficking, and that's like inside religious indoctrination, because I'm speaking about, the Jehovah's Witness crew. Okay, so, and they were doing that spell work every moon cycle, but you know what it's done to you, a person like yourself? So this has been happening since you were a kid, right? And it was apparently because somebody in your extended family offered you up and described your energies. And it was also your aunties. When you knew stuff, when you could see how you immediately saw fakeness and things like that while you were growing up. So you couldn't help but see that people were putting masks on to each other and it was really fake. And you were just really perplexed by that, because I think most of us star seeds coming in here, we're just coming in with the love. So the golden age, they cannot hide themselves in smokes and mirrors anymore. So all this moon cycle work, everything like that was done in the Piscean age of darkness, and it worked back then, but now we're in the golden age. We have reached the age of Aquarius, and it's kind of like everyone can see what you're doing. Are you going to keep doing it, or are you going to stop? Because now's the time for us to change the world and make it a better place. People are humiliating themselves by continuing to try to go you, and it's just unnecessary. Playing games, you just keep pointing fingers saying, hey, we can all see you. And where another ranks in the spiritual world is not known to us, not here, not on earth. And while we've got hierophants being the priests, the pastors, the people who are very, assimilated within their church groups, that's all well and good. But you don't actually know where the person that you've stomped out, well, actually, maybe you do know where the person that these attacks have been carried out on ranks in the spiritual realms, but it's not able to be hidden from the higher ups in the spiritual realms either, because as soon as there was a gap within the framework of the matrices, because you can see at the moment we've got that Schumann resonance, and that Schumann resonance is trying to break through the matrix grid to break through to Earth. But anyway, that's part of the age of Aquarius coming through. So we've been able to scream up there and get the attention of God and go up and get our justice. So, and when I'm talking God, I'm talking Creator God, I'm talking the spark from which we all came, because we're all star seeds, everything like that. So Where another ranks in the spiritual world is not known to us, nor do we have any idea who people walk with in the spiritual world, whether it be light or dark or both. Many of us are ancient beings that have traversed across lifetimes, 60 million years plus, and you're not subject to just one universe. Like, there is the God of 99 universes, the creator spark. We all went and got sparked. And that's where you got sparked as a soul group. So you've got your soul, what are they called? Twin flames would come from your soul group, wouldn't they? And you all got sparked together at the exact same time, and you're all kind of very similar in that regard. So there's not just one twin flame out there for you, there's many. But there are some of those loves that'll just echo through the ages. And I am of the understanding that there is a dynamic like that that's supposed to be coming together at this time. So some would assume are only surrounded by high vibrational beings, but they can have links to all the other realms in between and below. And a lot of you have, because you've been warriors, you've been goddesses, and also that was another thing, there's people shot themselves in the foot by giving you these death and rebirth cycles every month, by giving you the moon magic. So on the full moon, they would put you to death, and on the harvest, which is the no moon, they would steal up everything that you had been growing within the past month. So think about that happening for 30 years, death and rebirth cycles every month of your life. For how long? We're talking, some of you are in your 40s, some of you are in your 50s, some of you are in your 60s. We've even got 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and it was all created like that to suit structures of power that are above you in the material realm. Anyway, hence to say, those people making those kind of decisions over your life just isn't allowed. They cannot do that. So whilst you've been going through these death and rebirth cycles every month, it's unbelievable, really, the power that you've got within to be able to get up again and keep going, get up again, keep going, get up again and keep going. And you're doing it every single time. You're incredible. And that death and rebirth cycle, not only would it surprise you when you reach out to deities and things like that, they get chuffed that you're the one who's reaching out to them. Like, think about that. They're like, doesn't even know who they are. That man doesn't even know who he is, and they love to help you because you're amazeballs. But being through so many death and rebirth cycles on Earth in this incarnation, you have actually connected in with the multi-dimensional levels of your being. And what that means is you know who you are. You are fully aware of your power within this cosmos and the role that you are meant to play and what you're here to do at this point in time. And yes, you can look up and you can say, yes, it's understandable why these powers and principalities wanted to hold me down, wanted to put me in place, when you've got such a big purpose, a truly big purpose to fulfill. So all of that's understandable. So for real life, you have seen haters working against you down here. And this is just on the micro. Like, you know what you've got to do on the macro, but on the micro level, some false smiles have been witnessed. On the micro, you've got one friend you had to completely remove from your life, and because she'd already removed all of your friends from your life. Now, I use that friend term loosely, and whether you're male or female, you had either a boy bitch hater, like he really just couldn't stand you and big dogged you at any chance he got, which was put in a compliment with a massive dig as well, but it kind of looks like you're uplifting the person at the same time. So if you're going to big dog someone, this is how we speak in Australia, we're big dogging. You know, if you come from the country, oh, that one big dog me. Well, it's like you say, oh, he's a really good guy. I'd lend him that money, but don't expect to get it back within, you know, it'll take him a few months to get it back to you. Or, you know, like just, you know, ripping the piss out of him while you're, or you could say, oh, I'm really worried about that person, you know, like, and act as feign concern for somebody when you really are not concerned about them at all. You don't give a flying fuck about them. You're actually just pulling them down, pulling their, you know, and quite often people do it to people who they think are better than them. And I remember when I used to be damaged like that, yeah, I had people in my life that I wanted to big dog. I did it to some beautiful people in my life, actually, who it turned out I was jealous of. And that was in my early 20s. I'm not going to pretend I was healed then. I'm not going to pretend I was rightio with everything. Yeah, we can be absolute ruins. At the end of the day, it really does depend. Are we going to stay that evil, hateful person, or are we going to grow and evolve past it? Like, because we've all had our issues when we were younger, but remaining jealous and being like this bitter, twisted kind of like the karma demons that got wiped off the earth in 2019. And they were the ones who were able to transfer all this karma onto innocent beings. It just doesn't happen anymore. If you've noted, the prince of Wales had a bright red, blood red portrait drawn of him. They're not hiding it anymore. What's going on over there? And in addition to that, he got cancer. You know why nobody else has ever really received cancer or anything drastic in their families previous to that? Because they've been able to absolutely transfer that karma onto innocent beings. And that's why 4% of the population must be on the doles. So go ahead, society. Go ahead. Hate the dole bludgers. But the stupid capitalist system that we've got running at the moment requires 4% of the population to be on disability payments or parenting payments or any sort of payment that keeps them down. And it's probably the people who are getting kept down like that are probably the people that are actually being sent here on assignment to make changes that are very important in the world. And those people that got sent down here on starseed missions, oh, best believe patriarchies had their foot on their neck the entire time. Some of the unfair things that I have seen happen and even been through myself. So I could stand here and attest to say, oh my gosh, first of all, I was put on the program of getting me off through my partner. Second to that, they tried to put me on the gang stalking program. And to both, I say, how dare you? I demand restitution. And so should you. You should demand restitution as well, because you're better than that. You're better than that. And you're exactly aware of what happened. And you can see you're the type of person who knows exactly when there's another force that's working through somebody you know, they're not being themselves. And yes, that does happen. There are intercessors, there are, in our bioenergy fields, we can have piggybackers. It's up to you to be sovereign in your energies. I know they just had a big attack on sovereignty within the media at the moment, but it is genuinely because if you own your sovereignty, you're not going to allow any other influences to take over your body. So say a power and principality wants to take over and behave narcissistically to a particular being within your body, you're impervious to the attack. You cannot be taken over if you're on top of your spiritual hygiene. And spiritual hygiene is something that needs to be done daily. It's not something that you do every other week. It's a daily thing. Now, on the micro, you were hanging out with lies. So this was 2020 when everybody got their shots. You must have noticed, not only do we have divine, feminine, beautiful energies coming, flooding through to the planet at that time, and they have continued to flood on through, bringing back in the femininity, because it's time to hand over the reins. 5,000 years of patriarchal rule has been done. But we also had a lot of demonic forces coming through at that point in time as well, especially when people were getting the shots and everything like that. And my goodness, there were billions upon billions of dollars for everybody to be convinced that they were all in this together. All in this together. And they were looking out for each other by, staying locked in their house, all of that. It was a great big psyop, and everybody fell for it, bar a few says, bar a few anointed beings, God's anointed. So, hidden enemies were revealed to you back in 2020, 2021. Like, some people were deeply evil, and no wonder. That bitter bitch, and whether we're talking male or female bitter bitch, it was a bitter bitch, was involved, was so rude to you. And it turned out you were surrounded by frenemies. So I think you've come out of 2020 and 2021, 2022. And by 2022, you're alone. You'd gotten rid of these frenemies. They were destroying your character to the point where reporting to the police would not actually be unjust for character defamation, absolute slander of your character. Also, they were attempting to make you paranoid, which made you go, oh, really? Whether demonic or not, these crazy individuals in your life were a little bit overwhelming. But you had somebody pulling your life apart from the inside. So I believe this guy was a mate from school. You're actually lucky to still be alive for having this one in your life for so long. It must have done a pretty shit job of it, but the whole time using your energy. So say if they needed a boost in their energy, they would be energy harvesting off you. So the type of friend that, they could come to you, you would lift them up, give them kudos, absolute, move them back into their greatness when they were feeling shit. But every time you needed emotional support or anything like that, they literally turned their backs on you. And it became really evident to you in 2000, when eyes became wide open, 2020, 2021. So they were playing off your kind heart and your need for acceptance. And look, it's a very natural need that we want to be accepted. However, you're a freak on a leash. Like, to be resilient to rejections and accusations, like, people can say what they want about you. You don't even feel the need to defend yourself. You are just like, really? You believe that? Well, fuck you then. And you cut that person from your life. Oh, by the way, this is not for children. This is an adult podcast. Now, energy harvesting, always there for these friends. Yeah. And when you unveiled their energies, because of this person's desire and need for validation from other people and needing to have backing in a group, and that was basically why she kind of infiltrated all of your friends, turned them all into haters of you, and because they really needed mates. So there was this crazy drunken kind of person that had just come into the group. So in truth, what was happening was this jealous friend of yours, you're loyal, you're genuine, you honor who you are, and basically you'd never really rip somebody down in the way that these people were attempting to, and you know your worth. So anyone that you lost because of this person's attack, good riddance to them, because if they believed the lies about you, they wanted to. You haven't changed essentially in your heart and in your energy. their energy, your endurance, your compassion chooses forgiveness only so you can let it go. I'm going to have to cut this one short. I've got a puppy at the door.